Hey everyone, I am here with a fun tutorial from the December subscription kit. So these are these fun envelopes. They look like this, and I was inspired by Margreth from Sevenplaza. She made something similar, but I've already cut out the pieces that you need because she just made hers with a regular paper, and you can make it really any shape you want using the same principles. So it doesn't have to be with this. You can use your own paper and supplies, and I'll link her video as well. I always find things I love from her. So thank you, Margreth. And anyway, I'll show you kind of a finished one I made. I did a collage on the back. If you wanted to just glue it into a journal, then you wouldn't want anything on the back, so you could just glue it in. So here's the other side, and I just kind of switched it up to use this as an enclosure, but I just made that, and then inside I have just a fun little journaling card, but it's just a beautiful, whimsical little envelope, and I haven't seen one done quite like this. So I saved it to do the whole process with you because I wanted to just make sure, and to me it felt easier to fold some things before I cut them. So that's kind of why I left it like it is. If you can see on here, there's tiny arrows. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on this one. There's 3 different varieties in the kit. This is one of them. And then let's work on another one together. So first I'm just folding on those lines. If you print this on cardstock, which you could if you wanted, and then go ahead, and I would use, if you have like a template, what is it called? Oh my goodness, a scoreboard. You can use that, or a bone folder to get like a nice crease. But for me, I printed these on regular paper, and then the bottom half, see how this is only a half of an 8.5 by 11. The bottom half had a bunch of cute stuff like this that you're going to be able to layer with, and the journaling cards. So I actually cut the paper in half and then backed that second piece onto, I backed the little bits on a little piece of craft cardstock. Or you could use white cardstock or manila folder, just whatever you have around. I just wanted them to have a little more substance. All right, so we've got those 2, and then I'm gonna go ahead and fold on these arrows. So I'm just lining up those arrows, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just give that a good crease. And I just wanted you to see why it might be easier to fold it after, or to cut it after you've folded. I just think it'll make the whole process a little bit easier. I'm having a tough time getting that one where I want. That's okay. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out. So bear with me. You get to come along for that journey. It's not too bad, I promise. But this Christmas kit has been just fun to play with. So I hope you'll go check it out and see some of the other tutorials that we have going along with it. I apologize for those of you who don't love to watch the entire process. But I know every now and then I'll get comments that people will say, oh, I'd like to see how you did that, or you know, so it's a really hard balancing act to try to make sure I'm kind of pleasing everyone a little bit. And anyway, so fast forward if you don't want to watch me cut this baby out. I'm shaking. You guys are making me nervous. Just kidding. It's not that bad. And then I'm going to show you another little trick when you ink this. And that's another thing. I didn't want to ink it before because I wanted to show you, because there's a surprise spot where you're not going to want to ink. I inked it on the first one. Oh wait, that's not. Yep, that is with this one. Okay. All right, so we're going to do something a little bit different and surprising. We are going to be folding this fat flap here down and actually just gluing that one down. Let me make sure I'm doing the correct flap. I don't want to lead you astray. Yep, that's the one. We don't need this. And I really like being able to fold that down because it gives you a little reinforcement for the opening of your envelope. So, but see, that's a little different. All right, we're gonna come here, and I don't wanna ink there because I kinda want that line to be almost invisible. So we're not gonna worry about inking there. But I do want to ink around this and around these edges and around my flap. So I'm going to go ahead and do the inking on camera. Oh, I forgot to tell you, sometimes you see that those might not line up perfectly, and that's okay. Just kind of trim into that, just because depending on if your fold is off just a hair or if my design is off just a hair, then it's not going to line up perfectly. And that's okay. Just go ahead and trim it down so it lines up how you like it. I'm gonna fold our flap down, but I don't want to fold. I don't want to ink this crease along here. I want that to be invisible. Maybe you like that look and that's okay. But for me, I don't want to there. Now, you could, because you have now glued this down, so you could take a half circle punch out of there if you wanted. So I didn't do that on the last one, but I'm gonna do it on this one just to show you that that's a possibility now that that's glued down well, because you do have 2 layers. So then go ahead and ink that. I'd say that's almost the center. All right. Now we're gonna go ahead and assemble our envelope. So the first thing we're gonna do is glue this guy down here right up. Let me move that out of the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and making sure I'm especially hitting the edges. Oh, and I should do this guy too. So I'm coming all the way up this end and especially trying to hit the edges, but I don't want it to gush over and glue my envelope shut. So it's kind of a fancy little middle ground that we're trying to find there. And glue that. And it's almost, oh, look at that. We missed that spot right there. It's almost invisible, that seam. I tried to pick papers where it wouldn't stand out as much, so. All right, and now we have it. So that is a fun little half circle there. All right, so now we have our envelope. Wasn't that fancy? Don't you love that? Fun little way of doing it. And so now on the front of our envelope, we don't have any seams, which we often will have because now the seam is on the back there. And we're kind of gonna build a collage that's going to cover that anyway. So there's so many different ways you can do enclosures. I'm going to, I think I'll just do the same way. I think I'll come this direction this time. And so I'm kind of making just a fun little, I like it this way. I'm just kind of making a nice reinforcement. So with my bits and bobs that I have backed onto cardstock and cut out and inked, I'm gonna go ahead and just start playing and arranging this envelope. All right, you don't have to, but I put in an eyelet right here. I just am eyeballing this, so. You could do any old color. I have silvers out right here, so I'm just gonna use my silvers up. This would be kind of fun to do a little bit of stamping on if you wanted. I think I'll grab a little number and just do a little stamp on there. This is just to give you some ideas of stuff you might want to do on yours. Ah, fun. It kind of makes it really look old and vintagey. All right, now let's go ahead and do our collage on the front. So I kind of have picked out what I like. I know I want a little bit of lace somewhere on this because they're meant to be kind of fun and chunky. That's my dog Smokey. He's barking at somebody walking by. All right, so this is how I did it on this one. I'll bring it over for reference, but you can do whatever you want. You'll notice on this, I kind of built that up. I just used some scrap, can you see, some scrap cardboard in there to kind of build it up because it was sticking up anyway because of the lace. So keep that in mind that you can do that if you want. Not a big deal. Ooh, jumped out of my hand. So I'm just gonna start kind of layering. I want this guy to go underneath. Isn't this a fun little thing to put on? I cut that in half. It used to be long, but I wanted to be able to use it up twice. And that can even hang over the edge a little if you want for fun. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put some lace down now, or do I want my numbers? That's cute. I don't really want to cover my Eve on Christmas Eve though. Let's see. Let's just go for it and see what we come up with, shall we? Maybe I tuck that under here. Yeah, that's cute. Then I don't cover my Eve. But we're gonna cover Augusta Gotch chalk. Sorry. All right, let's get some lace down. And that just adds that pretty texture that I like to have. All right, and I'm gonna put this right here and kind of follow the same pattern that I did with this other one. Maybe I'll scoot that over and up a little bit because this is gonna be coming right here. And it's just fun to add that green in that ties in with the green right here. So I love that. I think I wanna stamp on this one too. Let's see what I can find here that will work. Oh, this one would work good. I'm just gonna do it by hand. And I'm using brown. Often I use black for stamping, but red would be really cute. Ooh. But I'm using brown because this kit is kind of brown and Christmas grungy. I love it. All right, put that aside. And I'm gonna come and just sit that right here. Now, again, I just have these teeny little cardboard scraps. And I'm gonna go ahead and add one up top for this. Just because that lace keeps it up. And so this will just give it a little extra support. Oh, I covered my numbers. That's okay. Oh, good. I got them out. There we go. All right. So we have that part down. Now, I'm gonna just grab a random piece, yes, of ephemera. This is just from another kit, just a scrap. And I'm gonna go ahead and use that. And I have a bit of manila right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down. My dog is choking in the kitchen. He's fine. He's fine, everyone. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put that down. And then I'm gonna cut a circle out of there to be this circle right here. Oh. It's not sticking very well. Okay, I can re-glue. Let's see. So I'm gonna kind of play with this and see what I like. What view? I think I kind of like having more numbers. All right. And the reason I backed it onto that manila folder is just for stability, because that was just a very lightweight paper. So inking that up, and I need a tiny bit of, this is also just that cardboard. So a good amount of glue. I used to have these beautiful chipboard circles, and I used them all up, and I need to try and find some more. They were wonderful for this. And I want it down low. All right. Now I need to decide if I want that lace sticking off, and I think I want to trim it down. So I'm going to trim that lace off so it lines up with the edges there. Cute. All right, and I mean, I have this color, but I think I'm going to stick with my more neutral just because I think it looks good with this color scheme. So it's a little different than just wrapping it in a figure 8. This is how I like to do it, but you can do it any way you want. I just stick it through there, and then I pull both of them through that loop and kind of make a slip knot right there. And then that is good. And then I'm just gonna wrap that around a couple of times and just let that kind of sit there. All right. There we go. There we go. Okay, and that is the cute little messenger envelope. So we can open that, and I have another little journal card. Look at that charming little house. Isn't that sweet? And that can go right in there. I probably should kind of dull this white here. You could print on both sides, but this is all you're gonna see, and I just felt bad wasting all the ink. You know how it is. So I'm trying to be resourceful, and that ink will do the trick. It just grunges it up a little. And then you have these two wonderful little envelopes with some journaling and these fun little fronts. Aren't they fun? So anyway, that is how I put these together. I'm sure there are way many other ways that you can do it, but way fun project. So I hope you will have fun playing with this, and just get creative. There's stamps. You've got more of these in the kit that you could add a little bit on there, which would be fun. I mean, there's just so many options. So play with it, have some fun, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and we will talk to you later. Bye.